I don't think our big mommy Josephine all the way from Kenya needs special introduction. Like you hear me calling her big mommy, if I'm grandma calling her big mommy, so you can understand who she is. I don't want to waste your time because she really has a lot for us today. So, mommy, over to you. Just start off. You can even introduce yourself better if you want to, but just start off because we really want to hear from
Okay,
you. Thank you
all
so much
right,
and welcome.
okay. Thank you very much, Justina, for giving me this opportunity to address this topic today, which is also close to my heart because part of it also a relative of mine was had one of the experience. I was a victim of whatever the topic of today. So, thank you very much. And those who are on the platform here today, welcome to you all. Thank you very much for tuning in. And it's my pleasure to introduce the topic of today, which is nutrition support for men's vitality. And how would I say, welcome to you all, love you all dearly. Forever Living Products close to my heart. It's been a very interesting journey for them since 1995. And my passion is the health of the nation. I love Forever because I know the products, they are no nonsense products. They do work provided that people, they comply. So I've got a lot of information, and it's a pity that I will not be able to do justice to the topic of today as I would like to because of time factor. But I will try my best quickly because there's a lot of information I've already prepared. My background is many, many years, over 26 and a half years in UK, working in different hospitals in UK and in pathology for many, many years. So that's my background. I used to sort of do a lot of diagnosis and all that. So I love it, but I do, in that was it about in 2003 I decided to go and study nutrition because that was very much close to my heart, even though I loved all what I used to do in pathology for many years. So it's the way forward. I enjoy it and I feel blessed, and especially being a member of this amazing company, Forever Living Products. So it's been a very interesting journey for me. So what I normally do on nowadays is I used to have a consultation room, but I closed because of COVID. But now I do private consultations, both physically and also on WhatsApp or web or on Zoom. Whatever my customers want, I normally do that. And I just I being doing Forever is giving me the flexibility to do what I want anytime I want, and sometimes I sleep late because I'm training people in different parts of the world where I have business. So, without further ado, that's a bit about myself. So, generally, I work as a clinical nutritionist in Kenya, and I love it as a consultant clinical nutritionist, which is very rewarding. So, as you've seen the title for today, and let me. So yeah, this is the beauty of Forever. Hey, I love Forever. Hey, just as excited as Justina. Hey, 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 hey. So you can see this is what I was doing today. This morning I was talking to my customers, and also I had three consultations this morning, and after that. I'm staying with my two grandchildren. We went to my compound, and we're very fortunate here. We have four different trees of avocados, different types. So we were able to pick some avocados. You can see that's one type, another type, and another type. Yeah. So we were able to pick from three trees of avocados. So that was a very interesting afternoon with the two grandchildren. And we also were able to pick up guavas. You've been making, lucky enough, because the weather has been good, you've been making guavas, juices, and also yeah, you've been having fun with the children having juices from guavas. And additionally, maybe you're all familiar with this. And this is I'm the only one who's lucky to have it in the whole of entire East Africa. Can you believe it? Yes. Uh-huh. I don't want to say it, but I did something that got did this 9 sticks from Nigeria, and only one survived out of 9 sticks of apple, Nigeria apple. Only one. And that is doing very well. This is the first year it's actually we've been able to get some fruit from that. And I don't know, maybe because of the soil here, it's not as sweet as those ones I tasted in Nigeria, but because of that, I've been able to blend it and be having, although my little one, my little granddaughter, she loves it, just eating it directly like this. But for me, I have to sort of blend it and make it into, use it for smoothie. And that's what I did today. Just to know the beauty of forever, give you time, the freedom to do what you want, to spend quality time with the family, especially with the grandchildren. So that's the fun we had today. Apart from many, many benefits, because of time, I won't be able to go deep into that. But there's so many reasons why no, I'm always excited to be part of Forever Living family. So that's what I did today. So now, as you can see, that June is Men's Health Month, which is a dedicated time to shine a spotlight on the importance of prioritizing their well-being as men. That's we're talking about men here, focusing on men. And this period, as you can see, is I could work in different hospitals in UK for many years. I got to know about men. Men, I don't know why they internalize a lot. That the last one, if anything is wrong, they don't talk like us women. We women, if we trust somebody, we sort of we talk, and which is in itself very therapeutic. But men, they internalize until it's too late. That's when that's why they started telling maybe their wives, I don't know, or their friends, but they're very generally they internalize a lot. And they don't often go for a checkup. So this is the way I look at men in general from my experience. So why men's health? Why does it matter? The reality is concerning. According to statistics, men tend to lag behind, unlike us women, in preventive health care, which is what I said. So according to Center for Disease Control, they said that men are, 41% are more likely to die prematurely before the age of 65. Can you believe it? Huh? When you compare it to women, premature death, which is on the increase nowadays, because of what the reason I said, they don't go for diagnosis or a checkup. Okay? And this gap is partly due to fewer doctors visit, which is what I already said. And then again, when it comes to screening, they're so squeamish about it, unlike us women. They are more likely to engage also, they are more likely to engage in all those risky behaviors like smoking and consuming a lot of alcohol, which can have a terrible outcome when you're talking about their general wellness. So what are the common challenges affecting male in general? Okay, there are many, many challenges, but I'm only going to mention a few of them here. You can see when it comes to their sexuality, I put it at number one, but that's where they get really concerned. If there's anything wrong, like erectile dysfunction, they are more likely to to go to the hospital for a checkup because of that. No, there's a lot of issue on fertility, which is of the great concern nowadays. Many are having, they actually, why I'm saying that they're firing blanks in terms of their sperm. The sperm count is not the same as a result of that. Fertility is a big challenge for the guys. I used to work in fertility in clinics in UK before. So I know when we're talking about fertility, looking at those sperm, we could used to call them as non-swimmers. So they're not mobile. You can imagine having a sperm with two heads or two tails, all deformed. So with non-swimmers. So how can a man? No, these are the issues when we're talking about fertility. Again, you look at the estrogen dominance. This is also due to diet. All this food they are consuming nowadays full of estrogen. You find because of that, many men are becoming somehow obese. Too much estrogen in the system. Digestive issues are another one. Okay, mental health is another one with men because of the current state of affairs globally. Stress is another one which is also related to mental health. Obviously, man, when the economic issues also can cause a lot of stress. The stress causes a negative impact on when you talk about health. Yeah, increasing cortisol and all that. It's not good. Depression, which is also another thing. And many of them, because of that, they're on antidepressants, which has got the catalog side effects like suicidal. We've already mentioned that low sperm count, addiction to all this, many of them, they get engaged in all these recreational drugs and alcohol, which is not good in terms of talking about health. Diabetes and obesity, mother of all ailments, those are the other challenges as well. High blood pressure, many men are increasingly having issue with their blood pressure. And also there's a connection with heart disease as well, which is on the increase. So these are few of the challenges affecting men's vitality. So look at this. Man is no longer a naked ape, but a knackered one. Now, when is it knackered? In colloquial English, just completely tired all the time. Okay, so this is it. Stress. Can you imagine? Because of so many issues. And this is why sometimes once they go to the doctor, the next day they prescribe antidepressant, as I said, which has got the negative side effects. So now stress is too much. What when you talk about stress, it's good to have to be stressed. The acute stress, I mean. So it's something on a cold day will get you out of bed to go and do your daily activities and all that. That's acute stress. But when we're talking about chronic stress, it's not good. And you can see damaging the arteries, triggers heart attack and stroke. So stress is not a good thing. Chronic stress. So this is what is facing most of these men. Now, today, among all those the list of challenges I listed, I'm going to just focus on the prostate. Okay, talking because this is this is affecting this is when we talk about mindset is on the increase. No, this is all already many of you are familiar what when you talk about the prostate. So you can see it's just the size of a walnut, weighing about 11 grams. And those are the function. No, it's good to provide nutrients for the sperm and no, to liquefy the ejaculate. Very, very important. The thing about when we're talking about prostate, you find that all men, okay, male, they have one, but only half of them, surprisingly, only half of these guys, according to research, okay, know it. All right. And many of them, they can't even spell it. Now, sometimes when most of them always have to be correcting people. I don't know why I cannot just say prostate. This is how it is spelled. Prostate. And many people, they misspell it. Huh? They misspell it as prostrate, which means lying flat. The way we greet people in Nigeria, the elderly. So I always try to correct them. So this is the correct spelling, prostate. I hope you on the line, you'll be able to help me to correct other people who are misspelling prostate. So, oh, that's the okay. That's the one I showed. Just a picture is showing the picture of the bladder and the prostate gland. So I've already mentioned, so I'm going to go quick because of time. So we have already mentioned those are the function of the prostate is very, very important. It supplies 95 of seminal fluid plus the power to expel through the urethra and also through the penis. So let's move on. So what are the challenges when we talk about prostate health? There are three main challenges which can affect the prostate gland at different periods of men's life. In that, the first we call inflammation. This is also very common between the age of, according to research, between the age of 25 to 45. And the medical term we call it prostatitis. Prostatitis, that's the inflammation of the prostate. The second one is prostate enlargement, which is very common. I don't, the age is going down according to my latest research. They are now maybe from age 35 above, they're having issues on the increase. No, before it used to be 45 to 50 years. No, men having issue with the enlargement of the prostate, but now they are getting younger for many reasons, which I will quickly explain below. So the other name for that is benign prostatic hypertrophy. Okay, that's the medical terminology, enlargement of the prostate. Just let's keep it to that, make it simple. So the last one, which is what I don't like, the big C, which I used to diagnose for many, many years, okay, prostate cancer. And you say prostate cancer is on the increase. Before it used to be now, say from 50 years and above. But now you find that, below 50, then now you've been diagnosed with prostate cancer for many reasons. So let's move on. So, yes, I'm going to. So these are all these are benign. When we talk about benign, that's a enlargement of the prostate. So it's due to increased number of the cell that that make up the prostate. So it's usually when this problem, when people, these are the same thing when they develop a large prostate. What they do is that they notice when they are urinating. Very difficult. And men, they keep on going forward. They cannot empty properly. Back and forward, back and forward. It is a terrible situation. And I know somebody was very close to me, was diagnosed with that. And unfortunately, was operated on in the hospital in the village. Then the operation went wrong because they put a catheter, which was not badly placed. Then we requested for him to be flown to Nairobi, and that guy was 81 at the time. Imagine, and they did operation again. Major operation for that age is not very good. Unfortunately, he died, passed on the third day of heart attack. So, but the initial stage, the initial clinical issue was enlarged prostate. So this is why I say they keep on going on and on because of they develop what you call urinary retention, which causes a backflow of the bladder to the kidney. So and they experience a frequent urination. As I said, they find it very very difficult to start to urinate. And also you get the experience of poor or block of the urine, very very painful, and they tend to get this weird tingling or burning sensation at the tip of the penis. These are the symptoms of enlarged prostate. And you can see because of this, many, when you go to the shop nowadays, I don't know about Nigeria, you find that there's where you go to shop, you see now, unlike before, you see there's where they sell this, what is it, a diaper for guys. They are taking more space than the one for the little ones. This shows how serious, when we're talking about a prostate issue, how serious it is. So this is the normal picture of the prostate. Everything is nice. Look at it when it's enlarged. So you can see enlarged. You can see when it grows like it can be like the size of before it would be described as the size of a walnut. Now because of this enlargement, it can even be the size of of melon. Can you imagine that? So this is it. Now with that enlargement, you can see it compared. Look at this picture and compare this one. So there's a constriction because of this enlargement, the growth. So it's constricting the passage of urine. You can see this is the bladder, this is urethra. So this is why they have all those symptoms I've already described. And when we're talking about the factors, what are the factors affecting this what the topic of today? You can see infection is one of the factors which can cause increase in the enlargement of the prostate. And when the hormones are not balanced, and you find some men they take these hormone dependent, because again this issue is also hormonal dependent. So they start taking all this injection, which can also, as a result of that, is according to research, when you start taking those testosterone, one can become a victim of prostate cancer. Okay, it's also, if there's an increase in incidence of prostate enlargement among especially people from African extraction. And according to, don't draw on my side for God's sake. Who's that sad person? I wish you can help me to control it, Justina. This is very bad. You don't draw on my slide. I'm trying to be quick here. So there's, according to research, there's low incidence among Asians, and I will tell you why later. So this is why I will say that it's very common among black men, high rate of this incidence among black men, and you can see they're getting younger. Okay, and also 20 to 60% of African men or men of African descent. So those are people who are according to research, who have been affected by enlargement of the prostate. So before I forget, why is there low incidence among the Asians? It's because of what they consume. And recently, I think last week, there was this, maybe you know you've heard of Dr. Fauci. That's Anthony Fauci. He one involved with the COVID vaccine. He came out, there was a report by him, and he's trying to promote certain supplements, like everything. When I look at it, it's everything that we have in Forever Vitalite for Men. So he called it Euroflow. That's being promoted by Anthony Fauci. And he said it was part of his investigation before he brought out the supplement. He said that Asians, they have low incidence of enlargement of the prostate. Why? Because they consume a lot of watermelon. Watermelon, which contains a lot of antioxidants like L-citrulline. And so L-citrulline is a non-essential amino acid which also works with the L-arginine and to release nitric oxide. So he said that's what is being they've been eating it for many years. But again, if you're going to eat continue to be eating watermelon, it could be equivalent to what we have in the supplement. You have to consume a lot. So that's the difference. That's why I came out with that supplement is currently promoting as Euroflow. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Other risk factor to do with guys is the lack of exercise. Obviously, sitting too long, okay, according to research, and environmental pollution. Now, there's many men are getting more and more exposed to environmental pollution. We're talking about the microplastics, which have been found in human testes. And even according to research, and again, glyphosate, all those people who are exposed to something like glyphosate are known, which is classified as class 2 human carcinogen. So lifestyle, the diet was very important, increase in the consumption of saturated fat, saturated correction. They eat a lot of fatty food, barbecue food, like suya. Hey, my goodness. Highly processed food and alcohol, smoking. Those are all referred to as exposed to a lot of antioxidants. So according to research from the University of South California and the Cancer Prevention Institute, they found that cooking red meat at high temperature, imagine, especially pan-fried red meat, may increase the risk of advanced prostate cancer as much as 40%. Can you imagine? So diet plays a critical role when we're talking about prostate issues here. So now you can see the weight issue. Now there are many men. This is the lean one. That's how many we should be. All right. Look at this obesity, which is mother of all men. Too much visceral fat. You see some people. I don't know about Nigeria. I've seen in Nigeria. Oh man, no, they some of them they look as if they're gonna give birth tomorrow. Too much. The organs are covered with what you call visceral fat, which is very dangerous because it causes inflammation. Okay, you can see all the problems associated with increasing the visceral fat in the stomach. So it's all those are the things not good at all. And yeah, okay, as a result of that, you're getting buildup of liver cell, extra fat in the liver cells, and which can lead to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which is on the increase nowadays. Not alcoholic, but non-alcoholic, okay? Because of too much fat in the system, because of wrong diet. So all these things are all what I've mentioned that are affecting men's health. And again, okay, I've already mentioned that. This is the typical picture of a prostate, you can see, but now we are talking about prostate cancer here, which is, so remember I mentioned about inflammation and also enlargement of the prostate. The last one is prostate cancer, which is also on the increase. This is a typical prostate, this is the healthy prostate, you can see there. Look at this one with the cancer, you can see the growth there. This is quite serious. It's also an increase. So also they explain something similar like enlargement of the prostate, painful when they're when they're urinating, feeling that the bladder is not completely empty. And they just don't need to be, especially at night, urinating at night. And decrease in the amount of fluid ejaculated, very weak stream, we call it. Blood in the urine or semen. This is why we say men, they need to be really observant. When you start seeing blood in the urine, you need to seek medical help. Don't delay. And again, look at this bone and back pain. By the time the man start experiencing back pain, that's it. The nerves now is quite serious, maybe stage 4. Okay, pain in the testicles, weakness and numbness in the leg. These are the same thing. Loss of bladder control. This is very serious. Weight loss, loss of appetite. This is very critical when we're talking about prostate cancer. So now, what do we do about, with guys? I told you they don't go for clinical diagnosis on time. We call it late detection, late presentation. By the time they go for help, we call it late presentation. This is why the outcome, we call it poor prognosis. Self-medication, especially in this part of it, in Africa. Many men, they go because they are feeling pain. What do? They just they self-medication all the time. They go to the chemist to buy whatever to relieve pain. So in a way, they are suppressing the symptoms, treating the symptom rather than the root cause of the issue. There's a bit of spelling there, poor health infrastructure. It's not as, in Africa, not as perfect as other European countries. So that's what we are facing in Africa. Inadequate health awareness, although I know there's an increase in awareness about all this issue with men's health. So unlike before, economic issues, again, economic issues, which is globally, it's not only in Nigeria. Hey, those are the things those are the challenges. Of course, I've already mentioned stress, anxiety, depression, and eventually death, which we don't want. That's what we're on this topic today. What are the well, the name in terms of treatment for enlargement of the prostate? They look at it. Sometimes when you go to the doctor, they say they just that they call it palliative care. They say just a watchful way waiting. And again, what do they do? Conventionally, they recommend the Prosca. Prosca is got lots of side effects. These are conventional medication. Don't forget that conventional medications, the fourth leading, lesser leading cause of death because of the catalog of side effects. Prosca is a very popular drug they recommend for enlargement of the prostate. The intention is to reduce symptoms, but it blocks the hormones that causes the prostate to grow. That's the intention. But the side effect, look at the side effect. Depression, imagine heart failure, erectile dysfunction, impotence in a way. And again, the men are developing boobs, gynecomastia. Boobs, sometimes they have to know, it's quite serious. Boobs, a man growing breast because of this, the side effect of this medication. Even incontinent, can you imagine? Okay, another one is alpha. They also you get alpha blockers to relax the prostate and bladder muscle. Sometimes these are the things I used to do when I was in pathology. We used to get a lot of, we call it a TUP, okay, prostate. There is resection. We call them prostate chippings, okay. So that's how we used to get it from from the surgical, from the theater. Then you could bring it to histology, and this is how we used to be able to diagnose the issue to do with prostate. And those are all the things that is happening nowadays. Treatment, again, for treatment for patients with prostate cancer, radiation, those are the conventional one, surgical procedure, hormone therapy, or chemo. And, don't forget that chemotherapy is got side effect because, again, it is known to cause even cancer. Okay? So hormone therapy, my goodness, a lot of side effects as well. Surgical procedure is not all the perfect. Radiation, forget it. All these are known, all these conventional treatments are known to have lots of side effects, as you can read for yourself here. According to the annual report on prostate disease from Harvard Medical School, this was 1922. So these are all the things they found out. And in general, if somebody is on chemo, don't forget, if somebody is on chemo, oh my God, I've seen a lot of patients in the past placed on chemo. Life expectancy in general, is usually after chemo is 18 months. Imagine you lose your money because chemo is very expensive. You lose your money, you also lose your person. Chemo is known to cause cancer and it affects the digestive system. It's horrible when somebody is on chemo. Those are the conventional treatment for prostate cancer. I hope you are following. Stop drawing on my. Oh, I was this sad person. Okay, bedroom issue, erectile dysfunction. You want to distract me, but you will not win. Okay, this is very common. It occurs in 50% of men, and guess what's due to aging process. So that's another one. And radical when they've been going through treatment of radical prostatectomy. It's known to damage the nervous system, making the guy incontinent. So all these things they know to pose a lot of issues in the bedroom. Now, accent to the pelvis also can have effect on these bedroom problems. Okay, let's talk about blood circulation, which also affect causes is known to cause erectile dysfunction. Obviously, you find that you need a good blood flow to those lower area. You need to have a good blood flow. Okay, this is the inner side of the arteries for good blood flow. You can see it's nice and clean. There's no deposit there, so there'll be no issue with high blood pressure. No, so the man will be able to have a good erection because there's improvement in the blood flow. All right, you can see that. Look at when it's inflamed, the arterial wall is inflamed, the endothelium and all that is all inflamed. This way, it's like that's how they feel all those burning sensations. It's horrible due to when inflammation takes place. And also, look at here, this is now this is causing an occlusion or blocking the lumen of the arterial wall. Obviously, it can even get worse. So you find sometimes you get deposit of fatty, it's like margarine. It's horrible. I've seen this in postmortem patients. Margarine, you can see deposit of fat, bad fat, and sometimes you get calcification as well. causing high increase in blood pressure. We call it plaque or atherosclerosis. When you get that, causing at the end of the day, what's going to happen? It's going to affect it's going to affect sexual health. Okay, good heart, good erection. But obviously, when there's a problem with circulation, it's the opposite. So, it's not in, as you can see, according to research, 95% of cancers are potentially linked to lifestyle. Okay, the habit are almost uh, this is according to Dr. Eric Wood, who's a natural, who's a naturopathic physician. So he's just telling that although it can be prevented depending on how you look after yourself, uh, uh, in the at early age. But as I say, so the increase. So I will tell you, so everything, most of it is linked to the lifestyle. Let's move on. So look at when we're talking about the diet, we always say, okay, eat well. No, I don't believe also the so-called well-balanced diet, because no diet is balanced nowadays because of the way we practice agriculture. Now you find that the soil is depleted, more and more depleted, all those essential nutrients, and again, they spray a lot of herbicide, pesticide on the farm nowadays. As I said, glyphosate, which is the component of oh, I've forgotten the name now. Anyway, glyphosate, I said, when they're exposed to glyphosate, also it's known to affect their health, especially their sexual health. And again, look at this. People, whatever we are consuming, consuming a lot of refined food, and as a result of processed food during processing, and look at the percentage of chromium during process of white flour. Chromium, which is very important for managing blood sugar. Okay? Sugar, look at refining, polished rice. A lot of nutrients have been depleted. Zinc, which is very important for men's prostate health. You know, look at the amount. People are consuming all this depletion. So this can also affect life expectancy. As you can see, their good health equals good nutrition. Okay, we'll be talking more about our products later. So according to research, 90% of our diet is deficient in zinc, because zinc is lost during process, as I already mentioned. Okay, and not to talk about poor soil nutrition. So I know Professor Perigin is very good on that. That's his line. So for good health, according to World Health Organization, they said that we need to consume between 5 to 9 portions of fruits and vegetables on daily basis. Many people, they don't. I was in Nigeria, and I know how it's not most of these things recommended by the World Health Organization. They are not they are not easy to reach in Nigeria. Okay, they are available but not within easy access. Okay, so you can see, let me see about okay, I don't want to go too much because of time. Anyway, we consume a lot of Western diet, which is causing increase in prostate cancer, as already mentioned. So again, I've been asked not to. This is with again. When you're going to eat food, we always say that we are now recommending organic. To be eating organically, but it's not easy. It's not easy for people to be able to be reaching when we're talking about macronutrients. It's not easy nowadays to be able to know that whatever you are eating is organically produced. Okay, because most farmers, they're after money. All right. So why when it's organically produced, those macronutrients, they're very important because they are known to be very rich in antioxidants. Like these vegetables here contains anti-cancer properties, like broccoli, like kale. They're known to contain anti-cancer properties. So all these things, all these are what we get in like cabbage, Brussels sprouts. These are known to contain a lot of antioxidant for general wellness. Okay, so okay, and again we have a choice. Every bite you take is either fighting the disease or feeding it. So the choice is yours. If you want to be a king of junk food, then obviously you be a victim. We don't want it, but one you are now you are feeding cancer. if you are going to be consuming this type of food on a regular basis, because I call them empty calories, contain a lot of saturated fat. There's nothing there. It's rubbish. Junk food, I call them. But to fight the disease, to be healthy, these are the type of things we are now recommending to be consuming a lot of this. And I know we are lucky in Nigeria to have a lot of vegetables, different type of vegetables, as long as you don't cook them to death. So to destroy the essential nutrients, so we are just taking fiber. So these are the things that we are recommending to prevent in order to make sure we don't get inflammation of that area of the prostate, also cancer, as already mentioned. The power of prevention and the management is in your hands, guys. Okay, mostly a guy who doesn't want to know. That's why it's scribbling on my making it. He doesn't want to know about this information. That's why it's scribbling on my slide, which is very sad. I wish I could have told my son to help me to correct it if I knew this is what is going to happen. It's only Justina can do it from my end. So let the food be by medicine. This was coined by a famous Greek physician, Hippocrates, which I know many of you know about. So these are the type of vegetable I was talking about, and is according to research known to help to reduce incidence of anything to do with the prostate inflammation or enlargement or cancer. You can see the percentage there by consumption of all these type of different vegetables. And we're also talking about mushrooms. Mushrooms are very, very important for good prostate health because they contain anti-cancer properties. Very, very important, like shiitake and maitake mushrooms, according to research. So other health benefits of mushrooms, they contain to be rich source of compound and complex substances with, as I said, antimicrobial, antiviral, and anti-tumor. Tumor means any growth, yeah. So they help to make sure they don't have what we call benign prostatic hyperplasia, enlargement of the prostate. Very important. And you don't get deposit of those fatty deposits, like those, we call it plaque. Okay, also very good to modulate the immune system. So when we talk about modulating the immune system, it's not too high, it's not too low, just like our aloe. It's also, they contain anti-inflammatory properties. Those are benefits of mushrooms. And again, as you can see, helping to make sure the arteries is free from those deposit, plaque. Okay, very, very good also for managing the blood sugar. That was according to the research done by University of Florida in 2011. So here, this is another food we recommend a lot of mushrooms, as you can see there. When you want to eat your food, make sure you eat rainbow colored food in that, just less carbohydrates, a lot of vegetables. In most cases, your plate should be full of different vegetables. Very, very important. So these are the antioxidants that we need in order to maintain good prostate health. These are all the things you can all see there. Very, very important. By taking antioxidants, vitamins, we increase our immunity. That's according to Professor Chandra at the World Health Organization, the head of nutritional immunology at that time. So these are all the things we recommend as a form of antioxidants to protect us against any issue. You guys, against any issue to do with prostate. So you can always see here, these are all colorful. We call them full of antioxidants. This was a study done at Harvard University, and they did that study on 79,000 men. They were asked to be consuming a lot of tomatoes, which is known to contain high levels of lycopene. That's cooked tomatoes, not fresh one cooked, because when it's cooked, it's when the antioxidant property lycopene is released. Okay, for men's prostate health. So that really worked. Men who, according to that research, they found that men who consumed 2 to 3 servings of cooked tomatoes per week, they have a reduced risk for developing prostate cancer. Imagine this percentage, between 40 to 50%. So that shows the importance of consuming lycopene, which is a special antioxidant. Okay, research was done at Harvard School of Public Health. So these are the things we recommend. You can see they contain a lot of antioxidant, anti-cancer properties, capsaicin. We have all this in Nigeria, atarodo, all those. We are blessed in Africa. Red, sweet potatoes, all these things. They have a lot of benefits a lot. And again, you can say pomegranate here. They are known to help to manage. I don't want to use the word reduce, but again, because the macronutrients, they help to reduce the incidence of prostate cancer. According to research, there was another paper that came out which I published about the beneficial effect of pomegranate as a good antioxidant when you're talking about prostate health. So this when you're eating your food, make sure you look at it, not just for the sake, don't eat as if there's no tomorrow, first of all, otherwise you're going to become obese. All right. And secondly, especially if you are getting a bit on, you are not working on the farm. No, you just sit in the office and you start eating carelessly, you will see the result in terms of obesity and too much of visceral fat as well, depending on the ingredients in that food, too much fat. So here you should see when you're eating your food, see rainbow colors. Rainbow, all these things, all this antioxidant power. This is what we are now telling you. And don't cook with any oil. No, some of them they're fat or fatty oil, which also can cause increase in visceral fat. So these are the things we are recommending the rainbow color, full of antioxidants. And you can see their nutrition. Now, these are the things we're asking people to consume. These are very good food. You can see here, all this contains a lot of selenium, which is a trace mineral, which is anti-cancer when we talk about its properties, selenium. Okay, it's a micronutrient. Okay, but for macronutrients, you can get selenium from all this eggs. You can see chicken. We are so lucky. We have different variety of beans. You can see that we can get selenium. And now to stop inflammation, what do we do? Everything man needs to maintain good health can be found in nature. And the true task of science is to find these things. Very, very important. As you can see, protect your manhood. Taking care of your prostate is taking care of your manhood, according to Dr. Birch. Birch. I've got a copy of his book. Very, very, very good. Big book, okay? So he was talking about prostate health, that men should take care of that. Be proud of their manhood, that take care of it. So you can see prostate undermines the daily quality of man's life and his confidence. And it's been scientifically proven that simple nutrition support can offer tremendous relief for prostate sufferer. Simple, can you see? Simple nutritional support, very, very important. I should actually put it in red, capital letter. That's why it's in capital letter. So as a result of that, we need to recommend nutritional supplementation to all men who are suffering from prostate discomfort and men who are concerned that they may do so in future for prevention, which is what I believe in. Taking something, supplement macronutrients apart from macronutrients, also micronutrients to make sure you guys don't become a victim of prostate issues. Now, you can see these are all the products. I hope you're all awake. Nutritional supplement for prostate health and its challenges. So this is all what we have in Forever Living products. I have pictures of them for those who like to see the picture. These are all the things where we recommend as natural, scientifically researched food supplement for Forever Living products. We are so lucky. We should clap for Forever. Some of these products, before they're available for you to buy, they take about 3 to 4 years of research because Forever want to be the best. I know because I know the facility. I've been so close to the company before. So I have good evidence to actually back the company that this is the best product. There are no nonsense food supplement on the market. They do work, provide you guys provide you comply. I know it's not easy to deal with men. They don't always comply, honestly. No, this is why they always need us as women or wives to make sure that they take their supplement regularly. We need you guys. So this is a good message for you. So, we talk about the aloe vera is very, very important. I'm not going to dwell on it because you're all well informed. So we say, I call it food in a glass. It contains all these essential nutrients, minerals, and vitamins. They work synergistically together. You call the amount of all those essential amino acids very, very important for cellular regeneration. So what they do help to get rid of clean the digestive tract, which is very important because over 90% of medical issues start from the digestive system. So it is very, very important to make sure the digestive system is working optimally. And they help to improve circulation. Very, very important, as I already mentioned. Better absorption of nutrients. For me, you're not only what you eat and digest, you also what you absorb. So aloe vera helps to give a maximum absorption because it goes from the mouth to the anus to cleanse. You're able, all those villi, they're able not to get clean. You have maximum absorption of all the nutrients you are taking. So you get value for your money. They help to make sure you don't become a candidate for any form of allergy. Help to help in terms of metabolic disorders. Promote internal balance. This is what I call it a general health tonic. So let's say when you consume aloe, this will happen from the mouth to the anus. It helps to cleanse all the segment. You can see there, this is the villi inside. Sometimes because of too much toxin, this thing can be blocked. The aloe goes there and cleanse each segment of this villi. So now you're able to be able to benefit from the aloe, and you're looking good. People are not complimenting you because you're absorbing proper nutrients. So you're getting value for your money. So when people tell you that, oh, some of your customers, they may think it's an objection. It's not. They just need more information. Some of them say, oh, they don't want anything to drink. It's your job to educate to say that aloe vera plays a critical role because it's going to help to detox and cleanse, so you'll be able to now have maximum absorption of the food supplement you're buying from forever. So you get value for your money. So always remember that they only need information, not rejection. Very, very important. This is the importance of our famous aloe vera drinks. So these are all the benefits, which I don't want to go into because you are all well informed. Just remember that they are organically grown, unlike other companies to produce aloe vera. And some of these, our aloe, they take up to 4 to 5 years before they start plucking from the field. And you can see we don't use any herbicide or pesticide. We have goats sort of doing their jobs on the plantation. Very, very important. So now berry nectar is another one apart from the aloe vera gel. It's very, very important, especially when we're talking about because it contains apple cranberries. You can see there, it contains apple and cranberries, and very, very important, especially aloe vera plus cranberry is very important for prostate health. It stops bacteria from sticking to the bladder wall. So this is why it's very good to support urinary health. So that's the one. And again, when you're talking about the aloe, for general wellness, you only take about 60 mils in the morning. I don't believe in all this quarter glass and all that because it may be big glass, it may be small one. So I don't believe in that. For me, as a scientist, I believe in quantity. So I normally say minimum of 60 mils. I don't even bother to measure. Just it's good. It's good. It's a good tonic for general wellness. Why not? So it's not only for prostate, they're for general wellness. So, but if you're symptomatic, you need to take it in the morning and on empty stomach, and also lasting at night. Very, very important. So why? Because again, this special one is very beneficial for people with prostate issue because the apple part control. The apple component contains quercetin. Quercetin is a natural antioxidant, which is anti-inflammatory and help to relieve any chronic infection. According to research, in 82% of patients, this was a research which was done in 2020 and was published in the journal of the prostate journal. Very, very important research in 2020. So let's move on. Now, we have Pro B. I'm not going to dwell on it for the digestive system. We have omega-3 fish oil, okay, because I know somebody is looking at the time. So we have omega-3 fish oil, which is also anti-inflammatory when you're talking about the inflammation of the prostate. Very, very important. See, it works, omega-3 serve government from the membrane to stabilize cell membrane and controls. It's very good. It's anti-inflammatory and it's also good for immune system. Again, for people who are having issue with the blood circulation, to make sure you don't have plaque formation in the arteries, it's very good to make sure we don't get that fatty deposit, causing high increase in blood pressure in the arteries. So that's the components of you're all familiar with it. So this is about the mushroom again, because it contains beta glucan, which is soluble and the soluble fiber. Very, very important. This I'm not talking about imu blend containing those beneficial mushrooms, the two shiitake and maitake mushroom. So as you can see, it's again formation of fatty deposit in the arteries again. So now this is a very important topic because this is the type of the ingredients here in Vitalize for women and for men is what Dr. Anthony Fauci was promoting as Euroflow. Exactly. Okay. When now that's what is currently promoting for people to be buying called Euroflow. But here we are so lucky because Forever has already done this research for so many years. You'll be marketing forever, recommending forever Vitalize for men. I just why I said there are many copycats. Forever is always the initiator. Then you have other people now following according to copycats. So Forever has done its research very well by bringing out Vitalize for Men because they know it's very good for prostate health. No, so you can see the component there. It contains zinc, very, very important. Again, naturally, no, zinc is very important because per each ejaculation, a man loses 5 milligrams of zinc per ejaculation. So if he happens to be engaging 3 times a day, that's 15, he's already finished his daily supply of zinc. So zinc is very, very important. You can see that it's also good for that reduction in the activity of alpha reductase, which is to make sure that the prostate does not become enlarged. Look at the components here, helping to shrink. That's another component there. You can see that's the fruit there, okay, helping to shrink prostate and relieve urinary flow. According to research, this was done in that's a British Medical Journal, and it's helped to reduce to shrink it by this was the one that was done. This research was done by Dr. Fauci. Okay? He said by whatever is marketing using the Pygium. So he said that it's able to reduce enlargement of the prostate within 8 weeks by 40%. Can you imagine that? So it's very good for fertility, for guys, sperm longevity. We're talking about issue with infertility among you guys. May help to achieve and maintain an erection. Okay, these are another ingredients there. Saw palmetto, similar efficacy like this one, and it's very better tolerated. We've already spoken about lycopene, which is an antioxidant. According to research, it's been able to reduce inflammation of the prostate by 67%. Can you imagine? And Forever is able to pack all this together as a food supplement. You can say vitamin B6, vitamin C, antioxidant, another one, vitamin E, and vitamin D3. Very, very important. This is what I was talking about pomegranate. Those are all the ingredients. This soluble fiber, quercetin again, which is a special antioxidant, contained within what we call Forever Vitalize for men. Very, very important. This is why I actually try to focus a lot on it. You can see all the ingredients, how important it is in maintaining good prostate health. Okay? That's our Forever Vitalize for Men. This was research which was done some time ago about the beneficial effect of pomegranate for prostate, especially when we're talking about prostate enlargement. That was the research. And why you're continuing, because I'm so excited about Vitalize for Men, because I know it's able to help them a lot. This is why I decided to actually sort of put all this information out. It contains what we call polyphenol, which is equivalent to eating the entire pomegranate fruit. It's a very powerful nutrient. Before we used to have Pro 6 in those days, those who were like with Forever those early days, you used to have a supplement called Pro 6. But nowadays, Pro 6 is now part of the ingredients vitalized for women. I mean, for men. For men. Okay? Correction. So it's very, very important, a very important nutrient. And you can see all this helping. So it's not only for prostate, it's also for testicular health. So very important for male reproductive health. Here, support libido. You can see that. Also spermatogenesis, as already mentioned when you're talking about fertility. All right. So that's the Vitalize for Men, and you can see all the information I've gathered there because of time. I'm moving on. These are all the research which were done which were done on Forever Vitalize for Men. This one appeared in that Journal of American Medical Association, before they found that this palmetto which is a plant extract, helps to block the conversion of testosterone to the bad. This is the bad one. Okay, so it's able to block it. So it's very, very important. I don't want to be too scientific. I want to make it simple. Just know that you guys, you need Vitalize for Men. What do you need? You only have to take one tablet twice a day. That's all. All right, that's all. So now another one is multi-marker. I know multi-marker is being sort of advertised wrongly. We have to be very careful the way we market these products in Forever. There's been a lot of exaggeration among many FBOs, but I'm glad we have those bodies are able to, the compliance, okay, to make sure that people, they don't promote things in the wrong way. So multimaca contains a lot of ingredients and it's very important for prostate health. Why? It is known as sex herb of the Incas, those South American Indians. It's also known as let me tell you, the Incas, when it's good for energy, when they are going to war in those days, South American Indians, Incas, they used to chew multimaca, the root, from the Andes. That's what they used to chew to help them, to give them good energy. Why? Because it contains CoQ10, CoQ10 enzyme, which is part of what is being liberated from that mitochondria at cellular level, and also contains L-arginine, which is is converted to nitric oxide for good erection and good blood flow. So it's very good. It helps to maintain good libido and manage stress level. See how important it is, multimaca. For multimaca, you also need to take 1 tablet twice a day. Very, very important for prostate health. So that's what it says. Very good. I know you already mentioned that. And you can see very good. The root, you can see the maca root contains, as I said before, L-arginine and all the saw palmetto again, and that another one similar to Vitalize for Men, and it contains that CoQ10 enzyme liberated from mitochondria for energy, because you need that energy. Apart from the L-arginine, normally body produces nitric oxide. Okay, very, very important. But due to aging process, the amount gets more and more gets depleted as people get older. So now that's the importance of CoQ10. People like CoQ10 levels may be deficient or depleted because of exposure to certain nutrients. So CoQ10, which is a fat-soluble antioxidant, helps to convert food into energy and protect cells from oxidative stress. Underline. So it's very good to enhance libido, energy, and performance. It's very good for people who have been diagnosed with high blood pressure. You can see. Again, the level, as I was going to say before, when the level of CoQ10 may be depleted by those people who are on statins. Statin is normally a prescription, very, very popularly prescribed by doctors for people having issue with a high level of bad cholesterol. Statin it's a big name, Lipitor, there's so many other names which is under the drug called statins. It's why it's even found to increase the incidence of diabetes type 2. Not even to talk about weakness in the heart. That's all the things, but side effects. So it can deplete the level. If somebody is on statins, take note. This can cause depletion of CoQ10. So this is why they tend to feel tired, suffer from chronic fatigue. All right, because of the side effect of this drug. You can see, vascular health, nuclear risk. Okay, this research was done in extracted from Journal of American Heart Failure. We're talking about incidence of heart disease. Okay, this because of time, I'm rushing. So here. This is a bee pollen. You all know about bee pollen already from forever. It's very good for energy and allergy. And again, it's also known as the elixir of health because it contains all this B complex, all this antioxidant and vitamin K. You can see all the ingredients there. That's a very important supplement for prostate health. Very good for circulatory system, digestive system, immune system, nervous system. What else do you want? That's our forever bee pollen. Help to relieve swollen and inflamed prostate gland. This is why I put it there. That's forever bee pollen. And if you're going to take bee pollen, you don't swallow the water, you chew, because when it's activated by saliva, so you chew and make it last longer. It's very, very nice. I love the taste. So guys, you can chew about 2 times 2 bee pollen. Okay, then if you want to take it at night because it releases energy, why not? So that's what we're talking about here. Now we're talking about this is what I need to just quickly. We call it the Warburg effect. When you introduce oxygen to cancer cells, they get killed, they get destroyed. They don't like cancer cells, they like acidic environment, first of all, and they don't like oxygen. They like the oxygenated environment. That's why they multiply. So cancer cells, if you want to help to reduce the incidence of prostate cancer, you have to find something which will actually increase the oxygen flow at cellular levels. Here we're not talking about Rg plus. That's the role of Rg plus, our famous Rg plus. You are lucky to have it in Nigeria. So these are the ingredients full of antioxidants. You can see there it contains 5 grams of L-arginine per serving. Very, very important. And you call the ingredients there well balanced L-arginine to increase nitric oxide, which is very, very important to make sure you don't become a victim of of high blood pressure. So if people with hypertension, it also helps to balance the blood pressure. Balance. Okay, so that's another one. According to Dr. Fauci, when he was doing his research, he found that L-citrulline is present in watermelon. This is converted to L-arginine, and from L-arginine now to nitric oxide. Very, very important for balanced blood pressure. This is this is the part of the ingredients in watermelon. Okay, so what are the benefits I can see is L-arginine is an amino acid. You can see very powerful. L-arginine changes to nitric oxide, a very powerful neurotransmitter. Very, very important. Have to, instead of using all those Ianapril, so many of those drugs, pharmaceutical. I'm not against pharmaceutical drugs. Don't get me wrong. I'm a complementary practitioner. If somebody is on conventional medication, I never ask them to stop. I said manage it, a product will remove the side effects, okay? So don't get me wrong, but I'm just highlighting the side effects of conventional drugs. It's very, very important to know about that. So you can see here, so it will help, L-arginine help to improve blood flow to the arteries, as already mentioned, all those, you won't have, all those people with the angina and all that. So these are the things, this is how what they do. We were talking about. Again, who wants to be old? Anti-aging, very good for cellular repair. That's what we're talking about. Increase the population of non-cancerous cells. Okay, so those are let's move on. Increase energy flow, maintain blood pressure. And you can see their cognitive function, good brain function. So you know what you're dealing with. Support proper organ function for general wellness. And again, the immune support you need. Your immune system is your inner doctor. If your immune system is not working properly, all these things we are talking about, it will not help at all. You need strong immune system for general wellness. Okay, very important for muscle growth. Again, to support muscle growth. Very, very good muscle growth. All right, not those who are tampering with testosterone, which can cause prostate cancer. So that's very, very important, and also good for promote proper digestion. So another one here, I said forever fuels the greens. Why did I put it there? Because as I said before, uh, uh, cancer cells, they grow in acidic environment. This is alkaline. So this is very important for promoting a good prostate health. So forever feels the green contains alfalfa. And when you see alfalfa, it looks so unassuming. But deep down under the ground, about 40 feet down, is full of a lot of nutrients. And you can see all the components there. So it's highly recommended. You only have to take 2 tablets a day. That's it. Very, very important. Okay, these are the components. You can see all what they do, detoxify the body, the natural power of greens for detoxification. This is what I was talking about. Contains a lot of vital nutrients. Very, very important. You can see all the ingredients there. These are our forever highly recommended fields of greens. And again, forever vitamin D3. In the forever, we have what's called absorbent D. So we need it, especially anybody who's black. You need it. Because of the dark skin, we don't absorb vitamin D as much as those who are of lighter skin. So you can see that people, dark skin people, because of the melanin pigmentation, slows down the uptake of vitamin D. So this is why it's highly recommended for you guys to be taking our absorbent vitamin D. We call it sunshine vitamin. You only need to take 1 tablet twice a day. That's all. I take mine in the morning. All right. So it's very, very important to support calcium uptake and many other things for cellular health. So that's highly recommended. B12 plus, as I said, our forever super Arctic sea works from the outside, the membrane. This one works internally at the nuclear level, in the nucleus, to make sure that we don't become a victim of cancer. So it's not only vitamin B12, it's a vitamin B12 plus because it contains other areas of the B vitamins like vitamin B9, which is folic acid. Very important. You can see for the DNA duplication, okay, in the center. You can see all the benefits already mentioned here for cellular repair. It's good for detoxification, and you find that may help to stimulate the production of that vitamin B9. So who needs it? Vegetarians and vegans, they need a lot. Okay, and those also on medication. If you're on medication like metformin, which is also another medication for people who are diabetic, that causes depletion of the amount of the B vitamin C in the system. And you know how important it is. Huh? It's very good for enzyme. If you are on a proton, that's PPH, proton inhibitor, those are antacid. Also, that can cause depletion of B12 in the system. And another thing people need it, I mentioned before about homocysteine. Homocysteine is a toxic amino acid, and high level of homocysteine is known to be detrimental to health, causing over 60 different chronic ailments. So, in order to make sure one does not become, what I'm trying to say here is that vitamin B12 plus from further is very, very important to eliminate the levels of homocysteine in the system because it's also been associated with increase in blood pressure. So that's the benefit of, you just take one tablet twice a day, they are pink. 1 times 2 tablets. Forever has made it easy for us. Here we have another one here, especially people having issue with deposition of those plaque in the system. They need not only omega-3 fish oil, they also need garlic thyme. Very, very important, especially for those different type of fat. So that's what I will say here, okay? You can see all the benefits here for yourself. It's protect against free radicals. Help to relax blood vessels. That's the problem. Making sure we don't get deposit of those plaque in there, working together with omega-3. But those are all the ingredients. And again, it's not just ordinary garlic. To increase the potency, Forever has done its research very well. We should be clapping for Forever. They've added time to enhance the potency of this garlic. So if you're going to eat the same equivalent in fresh garlic, you will not, even one capsule, you're going to eat the same equivalent in fresh garlic, you will not only smell, you will stink. And again, if you're eating fresh garlic in your food, by the time you start cooking, you've destroyed the active ingredients, antioxidant called allicin. So you're just using the flavor of food. So ours in a capsule, it's only released when it gets to the big intestine where it's needed. Very, very important. Garlic tea, especially for colonic health, apart from prostate health, or apart from all those for good blood pressure. Very, very important. Working together with omega-3 fish oil. So I think this is almost the last one. I hope you're following Lycium Plus. Ours from Forever, we call it Lycium Plus because you've added licorice. And I must correct people here because many people, when they read about Forever Lycium Plus, say, oh, you can't take it because anybody's got the issue blood pressure, they're not allowed to take it. That is totally wrong. This is a very important information because Forever is a unique one. We have removed what causes blood pressure in that licorice. It's lacerating. Ours is D. We've removed that glycerizing that causes increase in blood pressure. This is a special one in message for Forever Living products Lycium Plus. So if you're hypertensive, you can take it because you have removed that thing that causes increase in blood pressure. This is very good information here. So it's as you can see, Lycium Plus, you only have to take 1 tablet twice a day, and it's very good to remove the side effect of chemo. Anybody going on chemo or radiation therapy. So it's not only fields of greens. Anybody going on chemo, apart from the aloe, it's also to remove the side effect of the treatment. Lycium Plus can also come to the rescue. So those are the things. I know somebody is coughing that they want me to quit. Quercetin also is a very powerful antioxidant. You can see all there. Very good to help sexual and inadequacy. Those are the ones I'm not going to talk about. You can read for yourself. Special. Again, obesity, we're talking about starting with Forever C9 Plus for people having issue with that because infertility may be due to high level of toxins. So if you start to detox first, you'll be able now, that would be a good way to start with your fertility program. They do work. For people who are obese, too much fat, visceral fat, we recommend after this C9, they can follow with F15. I don't know whether you have in Nigeria. Now, as I'm coming to a conclusion before I talk about the business aspect, now they said it is the information. They say, crap, stop consuming all this. If you cannot be consuming all this and then you want to have good prostate health, no, it's total nonsense. It's garbage. Empty calories, not recommended. So look at this guy. Junk food, I call them. Prostate cancer patients eating Western diet, they're more likely to die from this disease. Can you imagine? You can see, I've seen the percentage there. So according to research, which was done by Dr. Meng, so stop eating garbage, guys. And stop drawing. You are sick. That person is drawing. Alcohol is a no-no because alcohol is an oxidant and it's not good for fertility. So try and reduce the. I know it's a happy because some people it's very good because it triggers dopamine, this feel good factor. So again, it's got detrimental effect because it's an oxidant. Especially if you're looking for a baby, fertility, alcohol is a no-no. Alcohol also is known to contain a lot of carbohydrate, which can increase in the deposition of fat. Here, stop smoking, reduce consumption of salt. This is what I recommend. Can increase your consumption of fruit and vegetables. We're talking to guys here. Try. No, guys, it's not always, it's not easy. Avoid processed food, less meat. I know in Nigeria they like meat, different type of meat on the plate at the time. You are dying. Less meat. The less meat, the better. Vegetarians, they live longer than us. Consume rainbow food, which are plant-based diet, full of nutrients, whole grains, again, chromium, none others. Again, what is a reminder? If you're taking forever supplements, make sure that you don't take it the same time as you are consuming whole grain because it contains phytic acid, which can actually deplete the beneficial effect of the supplement forever. Avoid sugar. All those, especially I'm talking to the youngsters here. Those drinks on the high street contain high corn syrup, causing causing the problem with the liver, non-alcoholic liver disease, and it makes blood vessel less flexible. Avoid all these carbonated beverages. Maintain good healthy weight. Very, very important. Your waistline for a man should be around 20 inches to make sure you don't become a victim of those deposits. The picture I showed you earlier of visceral fat. So that adequacy is very, very important. Go for medical check. I believe in that as a scientist. And take your medication as recommended by your doctor. At the same time, be aware of the side effects. Take your supplement wisely. Water is like stay hydrated. Positive mental attitude. Learn to meditate. Yoga to reduce stress. A lot of things, very, very important. Learn the art of forgiveness. I remember those days when I used to go awards round. You find some people have been cancer ward. Those people have been diagnosed with cancer. If they're so bitter about it, they say this person did it, that one did, and they're so bitter. They are blaming everybody. They don't tend to recover. They die early because of lack of forgiveness. Very, very important. Be grateful to your creator. Why not? Our creator. Be grateful to him. So what exercise is very, very important. You doesn't have to be expensive like going to the gym. Even just walking 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes per day, or at least 3 times a week. Very, very important for general wellness, for prostate health. Water is very, very important. Water is life. 2.5 liters. What of advice? With a natural product, one should not expect miracles or quick fixes. I hope. So don't expect miracle within 2 or 3 weeks. Sometimes you may need 3 months, even 6 months to make sure to be patient. Okay, very, very important because these are all natural, scientifically researched products. They are no nonsense. So you need to exercise patience, okay? Don't expect miracle within a week and say it doesn't work. I'm talking to men. Conclusion here. Take a good care of yourself with a few of these products. We not only add years to your life, but life to your years. I hope you understand. Now, very important, if you've been diagnosed with cancer, to form, and we call it a group of support. Those who have been through the journey, very, very important. Link up with them. So now, as for the concluding part of the presentation today, according to request by my friend Justina here, she said I should talk quickly, briefly about the forever business. Very, very important. Quickly, again, I've been in the business since 1996. Although I was introduced to the product 1995, but it took me about a year. I wanted to make sure I'm dealing with a good company. Again, although I've already benefited from the products because I had medical challenges those days when I was introduced. I help me to get better. So this is why I'm so keen on the products. Okay, they do work. So now, as with the business side of the things, you guys, nowadays we are worldwide, globally. It's not only Nigeria. There's lots of issues globally. Okay. Now look at all this point. What you guys? Let me ask you. What matters to you most? Is it your you need a family home? Maybe at the moment you are renting. Okay, it's not good. I believe in being a owner. Okay, I believe in that. I had my own when I was age 36. Okay, all right. Car. Maybe you're still thought of taking all those public transport, which sometimes they are not reliable. Maybe you want to buy your own car. Maybe you want to go on holiday. I'm not saying when you going holiday in the village. No, international. Huh? Maybe you having issue. What maybe you are thinking about the income. You're not happy whatever you are working, whatever income, because your employer they buy you at wholesale. They sell you at retail. So it's not always maybe again you're about to retire. And that pension is not it's not going to fulfill whatever you're going to be able to manage. Especially we Africans, we have extended family. It's not nuclear family like in Europe. Here, recognition. Maybe to be working for so many hours and you don't get recognition. You don't get recognition for doing good things. I used to explain this when I used to work in different hospitals. I only get recognized when I'm about 5 minutes late. But when I stay and do extra work, they don't the pathologists, other parties, they don't recognize it. But when maybe you had an issue with transportation that day, that's the only time they recognize, which is very bad. That's conventional. That's working conventional work. Okay, flexibility. You don't have flexibility to do other things. Peace of mind. You don't have it. You're always worried. More time with your family. This is what I was saying at the beginning of my presentation. This business has acquired me, has given me time to be able to spend quality time with my children and my grandchildren. There's nothing as good as forever. Now that is precious time. Bonding is very important. I'm not even to talk about living a legacy, which you cannot get if you are working. If you are working or in other employment, you don't get it. But these are the things. What matters to you most? Which one of them forever is there to help you get them? And which of these limitations are you affecting you or facing you currently? High cost of living. It's not only in Nigeria, it's everywhere. So we need extra income to be able to deal with high cost of living, long working hours. Imagine, for me, when I was working in different hospitals, I used to work. Sometimes I don't get home until 10 o'clock at night because maybe there are patients there which they need diagnosis so they can start treatment. Sometimes I have to stay late, but they don't recognize that. Long hours. By the time I get to, it's 10 o'clock at night. Huh? I have to take 3 modes of transport. It was very, very stressful. This I'm so happy that I discovered forever. Stressful job. That's what I say. I was in a job which was very, very stressful because not many people are coming to that profession because you're dealing with human health diagnosis all the time. So lack of, look at low or lack of salary increment. Maybe they give you 3% increment, which is not to do with the inflation. This is why many people they are depressed, they are stressed. Uncertainty, you don't even know. Maybe your job, you're in the job today, tomorrow you don't know what's going to happen because of all this digital coming up, like artificial intelligence. Maybe it's taking over. It's causing lack of job security. Therefore, you are stressed. No, seeking change, you want fulfillment. It's not. It could be all these things could be one of the limitations that you are facing currently as a man. It's happening. So forever, this is the guy. I'm not going to dwell on it. This is the son of the owner of Rex. He's now the CEO of Forever Living Products, and this is where we are based. We'll be operating for over 48 years globally, trading in over 160 countries. We are debt free, and we don't and it's privately owned, and we've got long-standing management team. We are business in terms of business, we're doing business in the health and wellness sector, which is a growing area, a multi-trillion dollar global market. That's what we're in. So if you want to join us, you're in the right place at the right time. This is the right time to join. We are not like other sort of those shady companies. Within 2 years, they're no longer there. There are many of them. They closed down. I've seen so many in Kenya. So we've been steady growth, uninterrupted growth, capital letter there. with Forever. So you are secure with us. And look at us. We are vertically integrated. So from plant to product to you, look at it. Everything is under control. Look at our plantation. Everything is under control Forever. Look at that. Everything, production line, all this, well scientifically researched. I've been to the lab, so I know what I'm talking about. This is Forever Living Products. Very good company. You have nothing to lose. So look all the benefits, which you don't get if you are working in a conventional business. Look at that. If through Forever, you can the car you'll be driving can be paid for because of Forever, because of your hard work. Forever wants to compensate you, so you don't have to be looking for public transport, which is sometimes can be very disappointing. To have your own car, can you imagine? That's courtesy of Forever. And global travel. These are all the things. Every year you can qualify for this, okay? No, it's not free. You have to work hard for it, okay? It's not, there's no free lunch. So, but it's very interesting, better than the conventional work. All right? All those things I described earlier on. Now, for global trip, every year, global trips, 2 tickets for you or your wife, or you can take anybody in your family with you. All expenses paid for to go globally, not to the village. I'm the like no the other time I've already no I can't I've lost count of so many places because of forever that I've been to. At one time I was in Brazil. In Brazil is when I saw those apples. I from Nigeria. We were given for breakfast. Those apples I showed on the first slide. And also in Thailand. Catches of Forever. So many places I've been to. So many. Catches of Forever. I love traveling. So maybe if travel, it's like pay especially travel for free and then you get 2 tickets and the expensive paid for. Why not? And you be able to you get pocket money, minimum of $500, depending on your qualification. It's you just keep on spending, you do, many people, they do a lot, they buy a lot of things when they do that global trips. Okay, so because of time I'm rushing. So recently this year was supposed to be in Dubai, but because of the problem in Iran, so they had to change. Then they call it a World Rally. So this took okay. I'll tell you about that next time on the next slide. So we now also when you join Forever, you can qualify for chairman's bonus. This is the money they put together in the pot, and you can be a share. You can get a share of of the money in the pot. This is a life-changing opportunity here. I've been able to qualify for this, and that's enabled me to actually clear some of the to clear my mortgage. It's very, very important. It's very, especially it's important to qualify so people in your team can now see you and say they want to be like you. Chairman's bonus is very, very, it's very interesting and very, I would say, I love it. Okay, chairman's bonus to be a qualifier for that. Life changing, I can tell you. So in Forever, you can get free support online. This is a digital system, unlike in the olden days. When I started Forever in 1996, okay, I was introduced to the product in 1995. I started business in 1996. In those days in UK, we are not as lucky as today, where you have a lot of you have lots of information on the internet. Digital system. In those days, we were all the forever living, all the information, the literature, they were in Chinese in those days in London. All right. So you are very lucky nowadays to be, if you want to be part of us, because everything is in place for you. A lot of information. Just go and just Google Forever Living Products. You see all the videos there. A lot of information, free online and in person training. You're gonna online ordering system. You have in Nigeria. Online registration of new members. You have in Nigeria. Recognition is part of it by your MD Nigeria, and you always have a company event to support. These are the support. What we have nothing to do. Forever is a win-win. So at the end of my presentation, we look forward to welcoming you to our Forever family. I hope you guys who are on the platform today, you help me. If it's not for you, don't be selfish. Tell other people or tell other people out there who will be forever grateful to you that you are introducing them to Forever Living Products. Okay? Maybe you're just here, you wanted to use the products. You're welcome. Maybe you don't have any of those things I was talking about, financial challenges. You're welcome. If you don't, then you can introduce other people. and they'll be forever thanking you. So thank you very much. I've come to the end of my presentation. Justina?
Oh, wow. I don't know
Wow,
where to
wow,
start.
wow,
Everybody's
wow,
shouting,
wow.
wow. See
This
all
is
the love
wow. This
emojis.
is
I need to even
massive.
ask them to send you love emojis. In fact, I need
This
to look. I
massive.
saw Justina one, Mr. Jacob. In fact, that comment from Mr. Jacob just rounded it all up. I don't really know who he is, but I saw the name Jacob. He said in the comment section, because when I read it, I'm like, this is just, he said, you are a gem.